Skilo is a simple online solution that helps organizations, both big and small, manage their talents. Let me demonstrate you Skilo and how review process looks like in Skilo. We are logged in as Tom Boyle, who is manager in an organization. He has a team of people that report to him, and we are in application Skilo and in the home tab page. Tom Boyle can see all the most important information about reviews and components that represent those reviews, like for example current business goals that are attached to each of his teammates, Brenda Roy, Cindy Clark, Paul Conan, past business goals from previous year, team's current development goals that are more of a personal characteristic, like for example learning French, and team's past development goals progress. Tom Boyle can see whether there are new reviews attached to him. Here he can see current competencies reviews. Only Brenda Roy and Eva Green has completed the reviews. Team past competence reviews from previous year. Here Tom Boyle can see review results from current reviews and last year review results. On the right, a manager together with his subordinates can put posts together with polls. Now Tom Boyle wants to see one of his subordinates' record. He can go to Employee Central. He can click on Employee Candidates and choose, for example, Paul Conan. That is a Paul Conan record. We can see his current position here, and also together with his history of positions. Here we can see some details about him as well, that he's an employee, his name and surname, his phone number, his email, his current position, report manager, and status he is hired. We can see that Paul Conan has no direct employees and that his manager is Tom Boyle. Here we can see competencies that are assigned to him. They are assigned according to the position that he holds at this moment. This is all configurable according to the client's needs. And here we can see goals that are assigned to Paul Conan. Let's see all of them. We can see that some of them are business goals. These goals relate to business outcomes, like for example increasing sales volumes. Development goals are related to competencies that are assigned via position to an employee. If the manager wants to see the details about each of the goals, he can click on its name, see the details to the left together with status. He can see goal completion, task related to the status, together with comments. If we go back, Tom Boyle could receive a message, an email, that Paul Conan has finished his review process. He gave his grades to all the goals and competencies that are attached to him. To see his grades and to give the grades by manager Tom Boyle should go to the review process, to the review, that his status is sent and the reviewer is Tom Boyle. Here Tom Boyle can see all the goals that were attached to Paul Conan that were included in this review. He can see most important information together with the grade that Paul Conan gave himself in his status. We can change it. We can also change the status of each of the tasks, and we can leave a comment. We can do the same with the rest of goals. Now Tom Boyle can go to competencies. Those are competencies that we saw before that are attached to Paul Conan. If we click here, we can see the grades that Paul Conan gave himself to each of the tasks. Each of those tasks are assigned to the competence. We can see also the grades that were given to Paul Conan by his colleagues in the review process, Brenda Roy, Eva Green. We can give our own grades. Tom Boyle can give his own grades by selecting the tiles and then selecting the right review for the whole competency. And also he can leave comments here. He should do the same with the rest of the competencies. Then Tom Boyle can review development goals. Here are all the information, most important about each development goal. And here Tom Boyle can change the status of each of the tasks that are assigned to the goal. And also he can leave a comment here. Then, if Tom Boyle decides to add additional development goal, he can click here. He can fill out the form. Each development goal should be attached to one of the competencies and the behavior that shows if an employee has this competence. Then Tom Boyle should review question and answers. Those are questions and answers that are assigned to the review. They can be easily configured depending on the client's needs. When he clicks on the question and answer, he can see the answer that the Paul Connon give to the question, and then as a manager, Tom Boyle can give his own answer to the question. Now Tom Boyle goes to the summary section where he can find a summary of the review and he can leave a comment. And now we can either save this review or send it to Paul Connon for final acceptation. Let's send the review to Paul Connon. The review process for an employee done by manager is already done. Now let's imagine that Tom Boyle got a message that his review process has started and he, as an employee, should fill out his form. This is Tom Boyle's employee page and its structure is similar to Paul Connon's that we discussed before. We should choose a review where the reviewer is Tom Boyle. Here Tom Boyle reviews his business goals, but not from a position of a manager, but from a position of an employee. Here he can review his goal and change the status of tasks. Then he can go and review his competences. Then he can review his development goals. Then answer questions. Then he can click summary. He can review his review, write a comment, and then he can send for a review to his manager. Let's do just that. Here we can see that the review has been submitted. Now Tom Boyle can go back to the home page . He can see the dashboard, and when he refreshes it, he can see the data that has been changed. This concludes presentation about review process in Skilo. Thank you for your attention.